Have you ever found yourself caught in a storm of life sips, unexpected turns, whispering to the sky, "Why is this happening to me?" Maybe it was a job that slipped through your fingers, a relationship that fell apart despite your best efforts, or a dream that didn't unfold the way you'd hoped. In these moments, it's easy, so easy, to feel like life is unfair, like you've been singled out by fate. But what if these moments aren't chaos at all? What if they're part of a larger sacred pattern, something guided, purposeful, and profoundly connected? Buddhism offers a gentle, yet powerful lens through which to see these struggles, not as random hardships, but as meaningful threads in the tapestry of your life. One of its core teachings is simple yet transformative. Everything is connected and nothing arises without cause. The Buddha once said, "Nothing exists alone. Everything is connected." These words are not just poetic, they're a profound invitation to look deeper, to see life not in fragments, but as an intricately woven whole. So, let us begin a journey inward. Let's explore how the so-called chaos of life might actually be the universe speaking in whispers, guiding us through the language of karma, change, and interdependence. These aren't just ideas from ancient texts, they're tools, lenses to bring clarity to confusion, peace to pain, and light to the darkest of nights. At the heart of Buddhist thought lies karma, the idea that every thought, intention, and action plants a seed, and those seeds, whether we realize it or not, grow into the very experiences we walk through. It's not about blame or reward, it's about responsibility and awareness. Karma reminds us that life is a mirror reflecting back the energies we put into it. One story that captures this beautifully is the tale of a monk and a teacup. A young monk once broke his master's cherished teacup. Fearing punishment, he confessed, but to his surprise, the master smiled gently and said the cup was already broken. At first the young monk didn't understand, but in time, he realized his teacher wasn't talking about the physical cup. He was referring to the nature of all things, that everything is temporary, already on its path to change, to dissolve, to become something else. This wasn't indifference, it was deep wisdom. The master's acceptance wasn't passive, it was peaceful. Why does embracing impermanence matter so much in Buddhism? Because when we stop expecting things to last forever, we stop suffering when they don't. We begin to meet life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Just as the seasons shift and rivers flow, everything in our world is moving, changing, evolving, and the more we can align with that truth, the more gracefully we move through life's heartbreaks and joys alike. But this path isn't about pretending suffering doesn't exist. It's about seeing suffering as sacred. In Buddhism, pain is not viewed as punishment, but as a teacher. Consider another story, one told in Zen circles, about a monk contemplating a piece of coal and a diamond. Both originate from the same source, yet one remains ordinary, while the other is transformed into brilliance through immense pressure. The lesson is clear: just as diamonds are shaped by fire and force, so too are we refined by the very trials we wish to avoid. Our suffering, when seen through awakened eyes, becomes the forge of our wisdom. So what if your current struggle is not a dead end, but a doorway? What if life isn't punishing you, but preparing you? What if this moment, as painful as it may be, is shaping you into someone you were always meant to become? As we move deeper into these teachings, consider this: every challenge carries within it a hidden invitation to grow, to reflect, to awaken. When we approach life through a Buddhist lens, we stop seeing ourselves as victims of circumstance and start seeing ourselves as participants in a much larger divine unfolding. We stop merely surviving and begin to transform. Pain becomes insight. Difficulty becomes compassion. Loss becomes clarity. And how do we walk this path? How do we anchor ourselves in a world that is always shifting? We return to the foundational practices of mindfulness and meditation, the beating heart of Buddhist spirituality. These aren't abstract rituals for monks on mountaintops. They are practical, powerful tools for anyone seeking peace, presence, and purpose. Mindfulness is the art of being fully present, awake to the now, without judging or resisting it. Whether you're sipping tea, walking through a crowded street, or sitting in silence, mindfulness calls you to show up, not with control, but with awareness. It teaches you to feel what you're feeling, see what you're seeing, and be where you are. Fully, honestly, gently. Meditation, in contrast, is a deeper dive, a deliberate stillness that lets us observe the ocean of our mind. In sitting quietly and watching the breath, a mantra, or the silence itself, we begin to see clearly not just what's happening outside of us, but within. Our thoughts become less tangled, our emotions less overwhelming. We gain not just peace, but understanding, and in that understanding, we find liberation. By making mindfulness and meditation part of your life, you don't just find moments of calm, you start living from that calm. You begin to embody the truths of karma, impermanence, and interconnectedness in how you move, speak, choose, and love. So if you're walking through a hard chapter right now, breathe, pause, look within. Life may be breaking you open not to harm you, but to reveal something luminous inside you. There's a wisdom that only hardship can uncover, a compassion that only comes from being cracked open. You are not lost. You are being led. The universe is not against you. It is shaping you. And each moment, even the painful ones, is a step on your sacred path home. Benefits of mindfulness and meditation. When we think of transformation, we often imagine dramatic events, new jobs, breakthroughs, revelations. But some of the most profound changes happen quietly, in the stillness of your own presence. This is the subtle power of mindfulness and meditation. They don't shout, they whisper. They don't force, they invite. And over time, they gently reshape the way you see yourself, others, and the world. Let's explore how these ancient practices can become the most intimate tools for self-discovery, healing, and spiritual growth in your daily life. 1. Enhanced self-awareness. At the heart of every lasting transformation lies awareness, the ability to truly see what's happening inside us. Regular mindfulness and meditation begin to peel back the layers of distraction and noise, revealing a clearer view of your inner world. This self-awareness is more than just noticing your thoughts. It's about understanding the unconscious patterns that drive them, many of which are rooted in past karma. When you sit in stillness and observe your mind without judgment, something extraordinary happens. You create space to choose differently, space to respond instead of react. With time, this clarity empowers you to make conscious decisions that align not with old habits, but with your highest intentions. In this awareness, you are no longer a passive participant in your life. You become its quiet architect. 2. Cognitive and emotional health. Science has finally caught up with what sages have known for centuries. Meditation heals. It softens the edges of anxiety, lifts the weight of depression, and soothes the tension of stress. More than just relief, it offers resilience. When emotions are turbulent, when life throws its curveballs, mindfulness acts as an anchor. It doesn't numb you to pain, but it teaches you to hold that pain with gentleness. You begin to notice when you're spiraling, when old fears are tightening their grip, and you learn to breathe through them rather than be ruled by them. This emotional regulation becomes a superpower in a world of constant change. Instead of being swept away by impermanence, you meet it with equanimity, a calm strength born from inner steadiness. 3. Improved concentration and memory. In a distracted world, focus is a rare and precious gift. Meditation trains the mind to rest on one thing, whether it's the breath, a mantra, or simple stillness. And like a muscle, the more you train your attention, the stronger it becomes. With improved concentration comes clarity. You begin to see connections that once escaped you, the subtle ways thoughts ripple into actions, how emotions are triggered by assumptions, how everything is interwoven. You move from a surface-level understanding of life to a deeper, more intuitive grasp of its intricate patterns. This sharpened mental clarity doesn't just serve your work or studies, it deepens your spiritual insight, allowing you to witness the interconnectedness that Buddhism so eloquently speaks of. 4. Physical health benefits. The body and mind are not separate entities, they are intimately linked. As your mental world becomes more peaceful, your physical body responds in kind. Studies continue to reveal the powerful effects of mindfulness on physical health: reduced blood pressure, decreased chronic pain, better sleep, and enhanced immune function. Imagine your body not as a battlefield, but as a temple, restored by breath, nurtured by stillness. When you practice mindfulness, you are healing yourself from the inside out. A healthier body supports a calmer mind, and together they create a stable foundation for spiritual growth. This is not indulgence, it is sacred maintenance of the vessel you live in. Bringing mindfulness into everyday life. You don't have to retreat to a mountain monastery to live mindfully. In fact, the true test and reward of mindfulness is how it's woven into the fabric of daily life. Here's how these practices can become not another task, but a new way of being. Mindful eating. Instead of rushing through meals on autopilot, slow down. Notice the colors, textures, and aromas of your food. Taste each bite fully. Eating with awareness turns a routine act into a spiritual ritual, one that cultivates gratitude and presence. Mindful walking. Let your steps become a meditation. Feel your feet connect with the ground. Listen to the sounds around you. Sense the rhythm of your breath as you move. Walking becomes not a means to get somewhere, but a practice in being here. Mindful listening. The next time someone speaks to you, truly listen. Don't prepare your reply while they're talking. Just be there with your full attention. This deep presence fosters more meaningful connections and helps you attune to the energy of the moment. A daily meditation practice. Start small. Even 5 minutes a day can begin to shift your inner landscape. Find a quiet corner, close your eyes, and follow your breath. Let your thoughts rise and fall without chasing them. Over time, as the practice deepens, so will its effects. Consistency matters more than duration. Meditating at the same time each day, morning, evening, or during a midday pause, helps form a grounding habit. Use of mantras. Mantras can be powerful anchors. Repeating a sacred phrase, silently or aloud, focuses the mind and draws you into a state of stillness. Choose a mantra that resonates with your soul and let its rhythm carry you inward toward peace and clarity. Mindfulness and meditation are not escapes from life. They are doorways into it. They help you meet the chaos with calm, the unknown with trust, and yourself with compassion. They gently awaken the part of you that is always steady, always wise, always whole. As you walk this path, remember, every moment of awareness is a step toward freedom. Every breath you take with presence is a quiet act of revolution. Your healing is happening. Your transformation is already underway. Mindfulness and meditation as gateways to understanding. As we deepen our practice of mindfulness and meditation, we begin to see the principles of karma, impermanence, and interconnectedness in action. We understand that our thoughts and actions today shape our future. Just as our past actions have shaped our present, we come to accept the impermanence of all things. Learning to live with flexibility and openness, we recognize our profound connection to the world around us, seeing how our actions impact others and the environment. These insights are not just theoretical. They become lived experiences, coloring every aspect of our lives with deeper meaning and purpose. Mindfulness and meditation thus serve as practical tools for spiritual awakening, guiding us toward a life of greater peace, understanding, and enlightenment. By embracing these practices, we not only transform our individual lives, but also contribute to the collective well-being, creating ripples of positivity and understanding that can impact the broader world. Through mindfulness and meditation, we realize that each moment holds infinite potential for growth, wisdom, and connection. We learn to navigate the complexities of life with grace and equanimity. Ethical living, the practical application of Buddhist principles in the pursuit of enlightenment and deeper understanding. Buddhism emphasizes not only meditation and mindfulness, but also the importance of living ethically. Ethical living, according to Buddhist teachings, is about making choices that are in harmony with the principles of karma, impermanence, and interconnectedness. This approach not only enhances personal growth, but also contributes to the well-being of society and the environment. The foundations of Buddhist ethics. Buddhist ethics are grounded in the idea that our actions have consequences. This concept is rooted in the law of karma, which suggests that positive actions lead to positive outcomes, while negative actions lead to suffering. Therefore, living ethically involves making choices that promote happiness, peace, and liberation for oneself and others. The core ethical precepts in Buddhism include not taking life, not taking what is not given, not engaging in sexual misconduct, not lying, and not consuming intoxicants that cloud the mind. These precepts serve as guidelines that help individuals cultivate a life of integrity and compassion. Non-harming, the principle of non-harming, is central to Buddhist ethics. It extends beyond physical violence to include any action, word, or thought that could cause harm to another being. Practicing non-harming encourages us to consider the impact of our actions on others, promoting a life of kindness and empathy. Practical application. One can practice non-harming by adopting a vegetarian or vegan diet, which aligns with the commitment to not take life. Additionally, mindful speech and active listening can prevent harm caused by harsh words or misunderstandings. Generosity. Generosity, or dana, is another key aspect of ethical living in Buddhism. It is the act of giving freely and selflessly, whether it be time, resources, or kindness. Generosity cultivates a spirit of abundance and counters the feelings of greed and selfishness. Practical application. Regularly engage in acts of giving without expecting anything in return. This could be volunteering at local shelters, donating to charities, or simply offering your time and attention to someone in need. Truthfulness. Truthfulness is essential for trust and harmony in relationships. It involves more than just avoiding lies. It is about being authentic and honest in one's interactions and communications. Practical application. Commit to honest communication in personal and professional relationships. This includes being truthful about your feelings and thoughts, as well as being transparent in your actions. Mindful consumption. Mindful consumption refers to being aware of what we consume, whether it be food, media, or resources, and ensuring that our consumption does not contribute to harm. This principle is closely linked to the concept of interconnectedness, recognizing that our choices affect not only our health, but also the environment and society at large. Practical application. Choose products that are ethically sourced and environmentally friendly. Reduce waste and recycle whenever possible. Be selective about the media you consume, choosing content that is uplifting and informative rather than divisive or distressing. Patience and tolerance. Patience and tolerance are virtues that allow us to deal with life's challenges and disagreements without becoming agitated or resorting to conflict. These qualities are essential for maintaining peace, both internally and externally. Practical application. When faced with delays, difficulties, or frustrations, use mindfulness techniques to maintain calm. Try to see situations from others' perspectives to foster understanding and reduce conflict. Compassion, or karuna, is the desire to alleviate the suffering of others. It is a natural extension of the understanding of interconnectedness and impermanence, as it acknowledges that all beings suffer and are worthy of compassion. Practical application. Engage in community service or support initiatives that aim to alleviate suffering. Practice active empathy by putting yourself in others' shoes and respond to suffering with kindness and helpful actions. Living with integrity. The ripple effect of Buddhist ethics. At its heart, Buddhist ethical living is not just a personal commitment, it is a sacred act that echoes far beyond the self. Every choice we make rooted in compassion, honesty, or generosity becomes a thread in a much larger tapestry, quietly shaping the world around us. Ethics in Buddhism isn't about rigid morality or guilt, it's about intention, awareness, and connection. It's about living in a way that honors the truth of our interdependence. When we choose to be kind, when we refrain from causing harm, when we offer what we can to others, these actions reverberate outward like ripples in a still pond. They uplift not only our own consciousness, but also inspire, heal, and support those around us. Ethical living becomes a transformative force, not just within but without. And yet, it's not easy. It demands constant mindfulness, a willingness to look at ourselves honestly, and the courage to rise above our more reactive instincts. It asks us to embody compassion in our daily choices, not just in extraordinary moments, but in the mundane, the difficult, and the unseen. This path is not a straight line. It's a daily recommitment, a continual process of realigning with our highest values. But as we walk it, something changes. We begin to live not just for ourselves, but in service of a more compassionate and just world. We find integrity, not as a burden, but as a quiet joy, a guiding light in a sometimes chaotic world. And in doing so, we lay the foundation for something even deeper: community and compassion, the lifeblood of the Buddhist path. Community and compassion, deepening interconnectedness in Buddhist practice. While the journey inward is essential, the path of awakening was never meant to be walked alone. In fact, Buddhism places great emphasis on Sangha, the spiritual community, as one of the three jewels of the path, alongside the Buddha and the Dharma. This speaks to a profound truth: we awaken together. We are not isolated islands. We are part of a vast, intricate web of life where every thought, every action, every kindness matters. When we open ourselves to this truth, we begin to experience compassion, not as an obligation, but as a natural response, an extension of knowing we are all deeply connected. The role of community in Buddhist life. The Sangha is more than a gathering of like-minded individuals. It is a sacred space, a sanctuary for shared learning, mutual support, and collective growth. It holds within it monks, nuns, lay practitioners, young and old, each walking their unique path but held by a common purpose: awakening. In the Sangha, we find encouragement during moments of doubt, clarity when confusion clouds our practice, and warmth when life feels cold or heavy. It reminds us that we don't have to have all the answers alone. We learn not only from our own insights, but from the lived experiences of others. Supportive practice in a spiritual community. Within the Buddhist community, practice is not a solitary struggle, it's a shared endeavor. Members help one another deepen their meditation, understand the Dharma, and apply the teachings in the context of everyday life. When one person stumbles, others are there to help them rise. When one person advances, the entire community is uplifted. This mutual support is especially vital in moments of spiritual challenge. Whether facing moral dilemmas, inner conflict, or emotional suffering, the community becomes a mirror, a guide, and a refuge. Shared values, shared purpose. What makes the Sangha unique is not uniformity, but unity in diversity. Despite different backgrounds, temperaments, or roles, the community is bound by shared values, principles of non-harm, compassion, truthfulness, and spiritual integrity. This shared ethical foundation fosters not only a sense of belonging, but also a deep sense of purpose. Everyone is walking toward the same horizon, each at their own pace, yet guided by the same light, the power of collective wisdom. Within any community, there exists a wealth of experience and insight that far surpasses what any one person could carry alone. In Buddhist practice, this collective wisdom is especially valuable. Senior monks and seasoned practitioners become wells of knowledge and compassion, offering guidance born not just of study, but of lived experience. Their presence helps illuminate the path for newer members, offering reassurance that the way forward, though sometimes steep, is walkable and worthwhile. Conclusion: we rise together. Ethical living, community, and compassion are not isolated values in Buddhism. They are interwoven threads of the same spiritual fabric. As we strive to live with integrity, we naturally deepen our compassion. As we root ourselves in compassion, we are drawn to community. And within that community, we find the strength to continue living ethically, even when it's hard. This is the beauty of the Buddhist path. It doesn't just lead to personal enlightenment, it points toward collective awakening. Every mindful action, every ethical choice, every compassionate gesture is part of a much greater unfolding, a movement toward a world where wisdom, kindness, and clarity can flourish. So let us walk this path with courage, not alone, but together. Let us live in a way that honors the sacred interconnectedness of all things. Let us become not just students of the Dharma, but vessels of its light in the world, cultivating compassion in daily life. Compassion, or karuna, is a fundamental tenet of Buddhism that extends beyond mere sympathy to actively wishing to alleviate the suffering of others. It arises from the recognition of the shared nature of suffering and the desire to relieve it wherever it's found. Understanding and empathy. Compassion starts with understanding the conditions and experiences of others. This requires empathy, which can be developed through mindfulness and meditation practices that enhance one's ability to connect with the emotions and perspectives of others. Active engagement. True compassion involves taking action to alleviate suffering. This can manifest in various ways, from providing direct aid to those in need to engaging in social activism that addresses broader causes of suffering, like inequality, injustice, or environmental degradation. Non-judgmental attitude. A key aspect of compassion is the suspension of judgment. Understanding that all beings have their karmic histories which shape their actions and experiences helps in approaching situations with compassion rather than condemnation. Practical applications of community and compassion. Building and sustaining community. Regular gatherings, whether in person or virtual, help to strengthen the bonds within the community. These gatherings can accommodate the diverse needs and schedules of members. Shared projects. Engaging in projects that benefit both the community and the wider society can enhance the sense of purpose and cooperation among members. This could be anything from organizing charity events to running meditation retreats or environmental cleanups. Open communication. Healthy communities thrive on transparent and respectful communication. Creating channels for open dialogue and feedback ensures that all members feel heard and valued, which is essential for the community's long-term vitality. Practicing compassion in everyday settings. Mindful assistance. Look for opportunities to assist others in daily life, whether it's helping a colleague with a challenging task, supporting a friend through difficult times, or volunteering at local charities. Educational outreach. Spread awareness of the principles of compassion and interconnectedness through blogs, workshops, or talks. Educating others not only broadens the impact of these teachings, but also deepens one's own understanding and practice. Environmental care. Since all beings are interconnected, caring for the environment is a direct form of compassion. Engaging in or supporting ecological conservation efforts can have a ripple effect, benefiting countless beings. In conclusion, the practice of building community and extending compassion is not just about improving individual lives, but about transforming society by fostering a supportive and ethical community. We create a microcosm of the world we wish to see. Each act of compassion, each gesture of understanding and assistance contributes to a global shift toward greater empathy and interconnectedness. In this way, the Buddhist principles of community and compassion offer more than spiritual benefits. They provide practical solutions to many of the world's challenges. As these principles are embodied and enacted, they pave the way for a more compassionate and connected world, demonstrating that spirituality can have a profound and practical impact on everyday life. Acceptance and resilience. Navigating life's challenges through Buddhist wisdom. In the realm of Buddhist teachings, the concepts of acceptance and resilience are crucial for navigating the inevitable challenges and changes of life. These principles help individuals not only to endure life's difficulties, but to grow from them, embodying the truths of impermanence and interconnectedness in practical life. Understanding acceptance and resilience. Acceptance in Buddhism is not about passive resignation, but about recognizing and embracing the reality of the present moment without resistance. It is an acknowledgement of life's impermanence and the inevitability of change. This acceptance allows individuals to engage with life's challenges more effectively, reducing unnecessary suffering that arises from denial and resistance. Resilience refers to the ability to recover from difficulties, to bounce back stronger, wiser, and more compassionate. It is built on a foundation of acceptance, but also involves active engagement with life's realities. Resilient individuals do not avoid suffering. Instead, they learn how to transform suffering into growth and deeper understanding. The role of acceptance in Buddhist practice. Reducing suffering. Much of human suffering is caused by clinging to things, relationships, or conditions, wishing them to be permanent when they are not. Acceptance helps to let go of these attachments, aligning our expectations with the true nature of existence. Enhancing peace of mind. Accepting the impermanent nature of life allows for greater peace of mind. When individuals accept that change is a constant, they can remain calm and composed in the face of life's fluctuations. Encouraging realistic optimism. Says acceptance involves a clear-eyed acknowledgement of the present while maintaining hope for the future. It allows individuals to deal with the world as it is, not as they wish it to be, fostering a realistic form of optimism. Building resilience through Buddhist practices. Meditation and mindfulness. Regular meditation and mindfulness practice strengthen mental and emotional resilience. These practices cultivate a steady and calm mind, enabling individuals to observe their reactions to life situations without becoming overwhelmed by them. Reflection on impermanence. Regular contemplation of life's impermanent nature is a traditional Buddhist practice that builds resilience. By frequently reminding oneself that nothing is permanent, one becomes less attached to the current state of affairs and more adaptable to change. Developing compassion. Compassion, particularly self-compassion, is crucial for resilience. Understanding and forgiving oneself and others when mistakes happen or when facing hardships can alleviate stress and foster recovery. Practical applications of acceptance and resilience in personal life. Dealing with loss. Whether it's the loss of a loved one, the end of a relationship, or a career setback, acceptance allows individuals to process their grief more fully and move forward. It teaches that while grief is natural, it can also be a path to profound personal transformation. Handling everyday stresses. Daily stresses can accumulate, leading to burnout. Practicing acceptance helps to manage these stresses by prioritizing problems and addressing them without panic or procrastination. Adapting to change. The modern workplace is often volatile and unpredictable. Resilience is key to thriving in such environments, enabling individuals to adapt to changes, learn from experiences, and continue to perform effectively. Leadership development. Leaders who embody acceptance and resilience can better support their teams through challenges. They lead by example, showing how to navigate uncertainty with grace and determination. In community relationships, building stronger bonds. Acceptance fosters tolerance and understanding within communities. Recognizing and accepting the diverse perspectives and experiences of others can lead to more harmonious and supportive social environments. In summary, the principles of acceptance and resilience, rooted in Buddhist teachings, provide a powerful framework for navigating life's challenges. By embracing these principles, we can reduce suffering, enhance our peace of mind, and develop the strength to transform difficulties into opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. In summary, the principles of acceptance and resilience, rooted in Buddhist teachings, provide a powerful framework for navigating life's challenges. By embracing these principles, we can reduce suffering, enhance our peace of mind, and develop the strength to transform difficulties into opportunities for growth and deeper understanding. Whether in personal life, professional settings, or community relationships, the practice of acceptance and resilience can lead to a more balanced, compassionate, and fulfilling existence. The diverse perspectives and experiences of others can strengthen communal bonds and promote a more inclusive environment. Support systems within communities that cultivate resilience can provide stronger support networks. These networks are essential in times of collective hardship, such as natural disasters or economic crisis. Embracing the transformative power of acceptance and resilience, the Buddhist approaches offer profound insights into dealing with life's impermanence and interconnectedness. These principles do not merely help individuals survive life's challenges, they enable them to thrive, transforming obstacles into opportunities for personal and spiritual growth. By practicing acceptance, individuals learn to live in harmony with the nature of reality, reducing their suffering and enhancing their peace of mind. Through resilience, they learn not only to bounce back from adversity, but to leap forward, using their experiences as stepping stones toward greater wisdom and compassion. These practices are transformative, both at the individual and community levels, empowering people to face life with a balanced perspective. Embracing both joys and challenges with equal poise, individuals can contribute to a more mindful, compassionate, and resilient society. In essence, the Buddhist teachings on acceptance and resilience provide not just a way to cope with life, but a way to enrich it. They teach us that every moment, no matter how difficult, carries within it the seeds of future growth and happiness. By embracing these teachings, we can navigate the complexities of life with grace and courage, finding deeper meaning and satisfaction in our journey. Finding peace and purpose in the midst of hardship, embracing Buddhist teachings. In the landscape of Buddhist teachings, finding peace and understanding the purpose behind life's challenges are not just philosophical concepts, but practical tools for personal transformation. Buddhism teaches us that every aspect of our lives, including the difficulties, can serve as profound opportunities for growth and enlightenment. This perspective helps practitioners not only to endure hardship, but also to derive meaning and strength from it. Understanding the role of hardship in Buddhist philosophy. In Buddhism, hardship is seen as an inevitable part of the human experience. The First Noble Truth acknowledges that suffering exists, but it is the response to suffering that can lead to profound personal and spiritual development. Challenges are viewed as catalysts for growth, pushing individuals to explore deeper truths about themselves and the universe. 1. The nature of suffering. Buddhist teachings emphasize that suffering arises from attachment, ignorance, and aversion. By understanding these roots, individuals can learn to approach life's challenges with a different perspective, seeing them as opportunities to practice detachment and develop deeper wisdom. 2. Karma and life lessons. Hardships are often seen in the context of karma, the law of moral causation. However, rather than viewing this as a punitive system, it is understood as a mechanism for learning and evolution. Every difficulty is a lesson in disguise, meant to refine our character and guide us on our spiritual journey. Practical steps for embracing hardship with Buddhist wisdom. Meditation and mindfulness, deepening awareness. Regular meditation helps cultivate a calm and focused mind, capable of observing life's difficulties without becoming overwhelmed by them. This practice enhances mindfulness, which is critical for recognizing the transient nature of our experiences and emotions. Cultivating equanimity. Meditation practices such as loving kindness, metta, and compassion, karuna, foster a balanced emotional state. Equanimity is essential for facing hardships with grace and composure. Philosophical reflections, contemplation of impermanence. Reflecting on the impermanent nature of all things can transform our understanding of suffering. Recognizing that this too shall pass helps alleviate the intensity of hardship, framing it as a temporary, albeit significant, part of our journey. Understanding interconnectedness. By contemplating the interconnected nature of all life, individuals can see their struggles as part of a larger tapestry. This perspective can reduce feelings of isolation during tough times and foster a sense of belonging and purpose. Active application of teachings. Applying patience and tolerance. Patience is not merely about enduring, it is an active engagement with life that allows individuals to take a step back and view their situations more objectively. Tolerance helps in accepting the imperfections of life and finding peace amidst chaos. Practicing compassion and altruism. Engaging in acts of kindness and compassion, especially during difficult times, can shift focus from one's own suffering to the well-being of others. This not only reduces personal distress, but also enhances emotional resilience. Harnessing hardship for personal growth and community strength. In personal development, building resilience. Each challenge faced and overcome strengthens emotional and spiritual resilience, teaching us how to bounce back from adversity with increased strength and wisdom. Enhancing self-knowledge. Hardships often force individuals to confront their deepest fears and vulnerabilities, leading to greater self-awareness and ultimately self-mastery. In relationships and community, strengthening bonds. Sharing struggles and supporting others in their times of need can strengthen relationships and build a supportive community network. Experiencing hardship can deepen empathy for others, enhancing the ability to connect with and understand the suffering of those around us. Conclusion. The transformative power of Buddhist approaches to hardship. The Buddhist approach to facing hardship is transformative, offering not just a way to cope, but a method to thrive and find deeper meaning in life's challenges. By embracing the impermanent and interconnected nature of existence, practitioners can view their struggles through a lens of growth and opportunity. This perspective does not dismiss the pain or difficulty of challenging situations, but integrates these experiences into the broader narrative of one's life. It encourages individuals to see each hardship as a step toward greater enlightenment and personal fulfillment, with each obstacle serving as a teacher on the path to spiritual awakening. Embracing these teachings allows us to navigate life's complexities with grace and courage, finding deeper meaning and satisfaction in our journey. Letting go or being dragged, the wisdom of surrender in Buddhist practice. In the intricate web of life, one of the most profound teachings of Buddhism is the wisdom of surrender, often encapsulated in the Zen proverb, "Let go or be dragged." This philosophy highlights a fundamental truth about human suffering and the pathway to peace. It teaches that much of our suffering is self-inflicted, stemming from our resistance to the natural flow of life. By embracing surrender, we can alleviate personal suffering and cultivate a deeper sense of peace and freedom. Understanding the concept of surrender in Buddhism. Surrender in Buddhism does not mean giving up or admitting defeat. Instead, it refers to a willing release of attachment to outcomes, desires, and the compulsion to control every aspect of our lives. This approach is rooted in the recognition of impermanence and the limitations of our personal power. 1. The nature of attachment. Buddhist teachings assert that attachment is the root of all suffering. This includes attachment to material things, relationships, identities, and even ideas. Surrender involves loosening these attachments and opening up to the possibility that there is a different way to experience life. 2. Embracing impermanence. At the heart of surrender is the acceptance of life's impermanence. Everything is subject to change, and resistance only leads to suffering. By embracing the transient nature of all things, we can respond to life's changes with grace and flexibility. Letting go with grace. The transformative power of surrender in Buddhist practice. At some point, we all find ourselves wrestling with life, gripping tightly to plans, people, or outcomes we desperately want to control. But the harder we try to force life into our expectations, the more resistance we meet. The Buddhist path offers a powerful alternative: surrender, not as weakness, but as wisdom, not as defeat, but as deep trust in the unfolding mystery of life. To surrender is to release our death grip on how things should be and allow space for how they are. It is the art of stepping back, softening the ego's need for control, and aligning with something greater than our personal will. 3. Trusting the process. At the heart of surrender is trust. It's a quiet, steadfast belief that life is not random but intelligent, that there's a larger flow at work, whether or not we understand it in the moment. This trust doesn't mean we stop caring or give up. It means we begin to listen more deeply, respond more gently, and allow life to reveal itself in its own time. Through mindfulness and meditation, we learn to anchor ourselves in the present moment, where surrender becomes possible. These practices teach us to stop bracing against life and instead meet it with open-hearted awareness. And slowly, with each breath, trust begins to grow, not just in life, but in ourselves and our ability to navigate it. Practical ways to cultivate surrender. Surrender is not a single act. It's steps of daily practice, a way of being that requires mindfulness, patience, and inner strength. Here are some grounded steps to integrate surrender into both meditation and daily life. Meditation practices. Mindfulness meditation. This practice teaches us to observe thoughts and emotions without grasping or pushing them away. By simply noticing what arises, with no agenda to fix or control, we create a spaciousness within that welcomes surrender. Over time, this non-reactive awareness becomes a sanctuary where we learn to let go naturally. Letting go meditation. These guided meditations often use visualizations to help release specific attachments or emotional burdens. Imagine placing your worries on leaves and watching them float down a stream, or envision desires dissolving like mist in the morning sun. Such imagery can powerfully shift our inner landscape toward ease and freedom. Everyday applications. Acceptance of what is. Practice meeting each moment as it comes, without resistance or judgment. Whether it's a traffic jam, a delayed flight, or an unexpected conversation, breathe into it. Let go of the mental narrative that says, "This shouldn't be happening." Acceptance is not passivity. It's the strength to face reality with grace. Non-attachment to outcomes. Engage in life fully, but loosen your grip on results. Paint because you love the process, not for praise. Speak your truth without needing to win. Do your best, then let the rest unfold. Non-attachment is the soil in which true freedom blooms. Cultivating equanimity. Equanimity is the calm center that remains undisturbed by life's highs and lows. It doesn't mean indifference, it means stability. Practice responding to joy and sorrow with the same open heart. When you are rooted in equanimity, surrender becomes second nature. Using loss and change as teachers. Life constantly invites us to let go of relationships, roles, routines, even identities. Instead of clinging, let these moments become opportunities to practice surrender. From parting with old clothes to grieving profound loss, each act of release deepens our trust in life's rhythm. The hidden gifts of surrender. When we loosen our need to control everything, something incredible happens. Peace begins to emerge. Here are some of the life-changing benefits of learning to surrender. Reduced stress and anxiety. The urge to control is exhausting. It creates tension in the mind and body. Surrender softens that grip, allowing us to move through life with more ease. When we stop fighting reality, we start flowing with it, and peace follows. Increased joy and contentment. Surrender opens the door to joy, not the kind that depends on everything going right, but the quiet joy of being fully alive. It frees us from the constant striving and lets us savor the beauty of what is, instead of mourning what isn't. Deeper spiritual insight. True surrender is a gateway to transcendence. It invites us beyond the ego's desires and into communion with something vaster than ourselves. In this space, we touch the sacred, where the lines between self and universe begin to dissolve, and we remember that we are held, guided, and whole. Surrender in relationships and community. Surrender isn't just an internal experience, it radiates outward into how we relate to others and engage with the world. Stronger, healthier relationships. When we let go of the need to change or control others, love becomes more spacious, more genuine. We begin to listen instead of fix, to accept rather than judge. This kind of surrender doesn't weaken relationships, it strengthens them, allowing true intimacy to blossom. Resilient and compassionate communities. Communities that practice surrender adapt more gracefully to uncertainty, whether facing social upheaval, natural disasters, or economic hardship. A surrendered community meets change not with panic, but with presence. It fosters collaboration, flexibility, and mutual support. Conclusion: the pathway to peace. Surrender, as taught in Buddhist wisdom, offers a profound response to the pressures of modern life. In a world obsessed with control, outcomes, and constant striving, surrender reminds us that peace isn't found in mastering every detail, but in learning how to let go with love. This path doesn't erase life's challenges. It transforms how we hold them. Instead of being tossed by every storm, we become steady within. Instead of clinging to the shore, we trust the current, and in doing so, we discover that surrender is not an end, it's a beginning of a life lived with less fear and more faith, with fewer demands and deeper understanding. Through surrender we come home, not to a perfect life, but to a peaceful heart. Not to a fixed outcome, but to a flowing, sacred journey. Embracing Life's journey, Buddhist wisdom for growth and enlightenment. In the Buddhist view, your life is not random. It's a journey, a sacred unfolding. Every experience, every emotion, every unexpected turn is not a mistake, but a part of your spiritual evolution. What seems like a detour may be the very path you needed. What appears as loss might be your greatest teacher. To walk the path of surrender is to walk with open hands and an open heart. It's to release the illusion of control and embrace the mystery, knowing that every step, even the difficult ones, are guiding you toward deeper truth, greater freedom, and the luminous awakening of your own soul. Understanding life as a journey in Buddhism. Buddhism teaches that life is a continuous process of learning and transformation. Each moment presents an opportunity to deepen our understanding of the Dharma, the teachings, and to practice the Eightfold Path, which guides us in right understanding, right intent, right speech, right action, right livelihood, right effort, right mindfulness, and right concentration. The goal of enlightenment, a state of profound insight and peace, is achieved by fully understanding the nature of reality, characterized by the cessation of suffering and the realization of nirvana. The importance of mindfulness. Mindfulness is a key tool in this journey. It involves maintaining a moment-by-moment awareness of our thoughts, feelings, bodily sensations, and the surrounding environment. Mindfulness helps us become fully present in our lives, enhancing our capacity to respond to life situations with wisdom rather than reacting out of ignorance. Practical steps for embracing the journey. Meditation and daily practices. Daily meditation is fundamental in Buddhism for cultivating focus, clarity, and tranquility of mind. Meditation also strengthens our ability to remain present and engaged even during difficult times. Mindful living. Integrating mindfulness into daily activities enhances our awareness and appreciation of life. This could be as simple as paying full attention while eating, walking, or listening to others, allowing us to fully experience the present moment. Studying Buddhist teachings. Regular study of Buddhist scriptures, teachings, and modern interpretations can provide deeper insights into the nature of life and our experiences. Study groups or regular discussions with a teacher can enrich this learning process. Retreats and workshops. Participating in retreats or workshops provides focused time for deeper practice and learning, helping to reset and deepen one's understanding and commitment to the path. The role of challenges in the journey. Learning from difficulties. Facing suffering in Buddhism, suffering is acknowledged as a fundamental part of human existence. Learning to face and understand our suffering can lead to profound personal and spiritual growth. Transformative potential of challenges. Each difficulty we encounter is viewed as a teaching tool. By understanding the nature of our difficulties, we can transform our approach to them and use them as stepping stones on the path to enlightenment. Building resilience. Cultivating patience and persistence. Resilience in the Buddhist context is about developing the ability to endure life's challenges without losing peace of mind. Patience and persistence are vital qualities that help us stay committed to our spiritual practices even in the face of adversity. Acceptance and letting go. Learning to accept what we cannot change and letting go of attachment to specific outcomes are key for maintaining mental and emotional balance. The impact of community in the journey. Support from the Sangha. The Sangha, or community of practitioners, plays a crucial role in the Buddhist journey. Fellow practitioners provide support, wisdom, and compassion, helping each other stay on the path. Learning from others. Interacting with others who are also on the path provides opportunities to learn from their experiences and insights, which can be invaluable in overcoming one's own obstacles. Conclusion. Embracing each step with mindfulness and purpose. Embracing life's journey in the context of Buddhist teachings offers a unique and enriching perspective on personal development. It teaches us to view each experience, whether joyous or challenging, as a meaningful part of our spiritual evolution. By approaching life with mindfulness, ethical integrity, and compassion, we not only enhance our own well-being, but also contribute positively to the lives of those around us. This journey is not linear, but a continuous cycle of learning, practicing, experiencing, and growing. It is filled with moments of both clarity and confusion, each providing valuable lessons that contribute to our understanding and progress toward enlightenment. With each step, we are invited to deepen our comprehension of the teachings, strengthen our practice, and grow closer to realizing true peace and freedom. Thus, the Buddhist path offers not just a way to navigate life, but a transformative journey that can lead to profound changes in how we perceive ourselves and the world around us. Cultivating patience and trust, embracing the flow of life with Buddhist wisdom. In Buddhist teachings, patience and trust are not merely virtues to be admired, but essential practices for leading a peaceful and fulfilling life. They are fundamental qualities that allow us to navigate life's uncertainties and challenges with grace, contributing to our spiritual growth and deepening our understanding of the true nature of reality. Understanding patience and trust in Buddhism. Patience, or khanti, is one of the paramitas or perfections that a bodhisattva must cultivate on the path to enlightenment. It is the ability to endure difficulties without frustration or anger and to accept the truth of each moment without resistance. Trust, particularly in the context of Buddhism, involves faith in the Dharma, the teaching's confidence in our own Buddha nature, the potential for enlightenment inherent in all beings, and reliance on the natural law of cause and effect, karma. Together, patience and trust form a powerful duo that helps practitioners maintain equilibrium and compassion in the face of life's ups and downs. Practical steps for cultivating patience. Meditation on patience. Mindfulness meditation. Engaging in regular mindfulness meditation helps cultivate a patient mind by allowing practitioners to observe their impulses and reactions without acting on them immediately. This observation period creates a space between stimulus and response, enhancing patience. Patient-specific meditations. Certain meditative practices focus directly on developing patience, such as meditating on the impermanence of emotions or contemplating scenarios that typically trigger impatience. Daily practices. Handling small annoyances. Use daily irritations as opportunities to practice patience, whether it's being stuck in traffic, waiting in a long line, or dealing with a difficult person. Each situation offers a chance to cultivate patience. Reflective journaling. Keeping a journal to reflect on daily experiences can be a useful tool for developing patience. Writing about situations that tested your patience and how you responded can provide insights and areas for improvement. Building trust through Buddhist practice. Trust in the Dharma. Study and reflection. Regular study of Buddhist scriptures and teachings strengthens trust in the Dharma. Reflecting on how these teachings apply to your life can deepen your understanding and faith. Trust in your Buddha nature. Recognize and affirm your inherent potential for enlightenment. This recognition can provide a foundation for trust in your own spiritual journey. Trust in karma. Understanding and accepting the law of cause and effect can foster a sense of trust in the natural unfolding of life. This understanding encourages patience and acceptance in the face of challenges. Conclusion: cultivating patience and trust as essential practices. By cultivating patience and trust, we can navigate life's complexities with greater ease and grace. These practices not only help us endure life's challenges, but also contribute to our spiritual growth and well-being. Through mindfulness meditation, daily reflections, and a deepening understanding of the Dharma, we can develop the qualities needed to embrace life's journey with openness and compassion. In doing so, we move closer to realizing the peace and freedom that Buddhist teachings offer, finding a deeper sense of purpose and fulfillment in our lives. Finding inner peace and understanding through the wisdom of impermanence. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of impermanence is central to understanding the nature of existence. Everything in the universe, from the smallest particle to the largest stars, from our feelings and thoughts to our physical bodies, is subject to change and decay. This realization can be unsettling, but it is also a powerful tool for achieving inner peace and a deeper understanding of life. By embracing impermanence, we can let go of attachment and fear and cultivate a more joyful and compassionate existence. Understanding impermanence in Buddhism. The nature of change. Impermanence means that nothing is static or permanent. Everything is in a constant state of flux, and change is the only constant. This applies to our personal lives, our relationships, and the world around us. The link to suffering. The Buddha taught that much of human suffering is caused by clinging to things, people, or conditions, expecting them to last when they will inevitably change. By understanding and accepting impermanence, we can reduce our suffering and find greater peace. Practical steps for embracing impermanence. Meditation on impermanence. Mindfulness meditation helps practitioners observe the changing nature of their thoughts and feelings and the transient world around them. Specific meditations focus on the impermanence of the body, the breath, and external objects, reinforcing the truth of constant change. Daily life applications. Acceptance of life's changes. Whether dealing with the loss of a job, the end of a relationship, or simple changes in daily plans, practicing acceptance can help reduce resistance and emotional turmoil. Letting go of attachments. Regularly practice letting go of attachments to material things by decluttering, giving things away, or changing routines. This practice can be extended to relationships and ideas, fostering a healthier detachment. The role of impermanence in personal growth. Learning from life cycles, growth through loss. Every loss is an opportunity to learn about the nature of existence and our own capacity for resilience. Reflecting on what each loss teaches us can help integrate these lessons into our lives. Renewal and opportunity. Just as nature cycles through seasons, our lives also go through phases of growth, decay, and regeneration. Recognizing this pattern can inspire optimism and creativity in how we approach new challenges. Building emotional resilience. Understanding that nothing remains the same helps develop flexibility in our thoughts and actions. This adaptability is key to thriving in a changing world. Strengthening acceptance. Acceptance is a powerful response to the unavoidable changes of life. It allows us to experience peace, even amidst turmoil, knowing that change is a natural and manageable part of life. Finding peace in transience, mindful living, recognizing that each moment is fleeting, we can learn to appreciate life more fully. This heightened appreciation can lead to a more engaged and vibrant experience of the world. Practicing gratitude. Daily gratitude practices can shift focus from what is lost or changing to what is present and valuable, enhancing life satisfaction and emotional well-being. Navigating relationships with impermanence. Deepening connections. Knowing that our time with loved ones is not guaranteed can inspire us to be more present, loving, and forgiving in our relationships. Healthy detachment. Understanding that all relationships eventually change or end can help us enjoy them without excessive clinging, which often leads to suffering. The impact of impermanence on community and society. Fostering community resilience. Communities that embrace the concept of impermanence can better withstand and adapt to social, economic, or environmental changes. Support systems. Building strong support systems that acknowledge the transient nature of life can provide safety nets for individuals during times of change, reinforcing community bonds. Promoting sustainable practices. Environmental awareness. Recognizing the impermanence of natural resources can lead to more sustainable living practices and policies, ensuring that we protect and conserve the environment for future generations. Ethical consumption. Understanding that our desire for material goods must be balanced with the impermanence and limits of these resources can inspire more ethical consumption habits. Conclusion. Embracing impermanence for a fulfilling life. The Buddhist teaching of impermanence is a profound reminder that our experiences, possessions, and even relationships, rather than inducing despair, this understanding can liberate us from unnecessary attachments and fears, allowing us to live more fully and freely. It encourages us to appreciate every moment, to love without holding back, and to approach life with open hands and an open heart. Embracing impermanence does not mean we give up on goals or relationships. Instead, it means engaging with them more deeply, with a clear understanding of their temporary nature. This awareness brings a sense of peace and presence that enhances every aspect of life, from personal development to how we interact with others and the world around us. Ultimately, impermanence teaches us to live in harmony with the natural flow of life, embracing change as an opportunity for growth and renewal. By cultivating a deep acceptance of impermanence, we can find true inner peace and a lasting sense of fulfillment, knowing that in every ending there is a new beginning. Cultivating compassion, the heart of Buddhist practice and its impact on personal and social well-being. Compassion is a cornerstone of Buddhist philosophy and practice. It is not only seen as an ethical imperative, but also as a profound method for transforming personal suffering into a deeper connection with others. By developing compassion, we not only alleviate the suffering of others, but also enhance our own spiritual and emotional well-being, fostering a more empathetic and interconnected society. Understanding compassion in Buddhism. Defining compassion in Buddhism. Compassion, or karuna, is the wish for all sentient beings to be free from suffering. It goes beyond mere sympathy to actively wishing to alleviate others' distress. The interconnection of all beings. Compassion is rooted in the understanding of the interconnectedness of all life. The realization that we are not isolated entities, but part of a vast interdependent network deepens our ability to empathize with others' experiences. Practical steps for cultivating compassion. Meditation practices. Loving kindness meditation metta. This practice involves silently repeating phrases that cultivate loving kindness toward oneself and others, gradually extending this goodwill to all beings without exception. Compassion meditation focuses on visualizing the suffering of others and mentally sending them relief and happiness. This practice can be particularly transformative, fostering a profound emotional and spiritual response. Daily life applications. Active listening. Being fully present when interacting with others is a form of compassion. It involves listening with full attention and empathy, acknowledging others' feelings without judgment. Acts of kindness. Regular small acts of kindness, such as helping a neighbor, volunteering, or simply offering a kind word to a stranger, can cultivate a habit of compassion. The role of compassion in personal growth. Enhancing emotional resilience. Practicing compassion can enhance emotional intelligence, including empathy and emotional regulation. Understanding and sharing the feelings of others can help manage one's own emotions more effectively, reducing negative emotions. Engaging in compassionate actions can decrease levels of stress, anxiety, and depression. The focus on others' well-being can shift attention away from one's own troubles and lead to increased feelings of contentment and joy. Building meaningful relationships. Compassion leads to stronger, more meaningful relationships by showing genuine concern for others' well-being. Relationships are built on a foundation of mutual respect and care. Improving communication. Compassion improves communication by encouraging openness and honesty. Understanding and caring about others' feelings can help navigate conflicts more effectively. Compassion's impact on community and society. Fostering social cohesion. Compassion encourages altruistic behavior, which can strengthen community ties and social networks. Communities with strong bonds are more resilient in the face of adversity. Enhancing public welfare. Compassionate policies and practices in areas like healthcare, education, and social services can lead to more inclusive and supportive communities. Global and environmental impact. Compassion extends to non-human life and the environment. It can inspire more ethical consumption habits, supporting sustainable and fair trade products. Advocacy and activism driven by compassion can contribute to social justice, human rights, and environmental protection. Challenges in practicing compassion. Dealing with compassion fatigue. Setting boundaries while practicing compassion is crucial to prevent burnout. Knowing when to step back and take care of oneself is essential. Self-compassion. Practicing self-compassion is vital. It involves treating oneself with the same kindness and understanding that one would offer to others. Overcoming barriers to compassion. Recognizing and addressing prejudices is important for cultivating genuine compassion. Empathy training can be helpful for those who find it difficult to empathize. Conclusion. The transformative power of compassion. Cultivating compassion is a transformative practice that changes not only how we interact with others, but also how we see ourselves and the world. In Buddhism, it is both a path to personal enlightenment and a method for healing the world. By developing a compassionate heart, we contribute to a cycle of positive energy that enhances our own lives and ripples out to influence the broader community and beyond. The practice of compassion is an ongoing journey that requires dedication and mindfulness. It challenges us to grow in ways that expand our understanding, deepen our connections, and enrich our experiences. Through compassion, we find that the barriers between ourselves and others are not as solid as they seem, and that our own well-being is inextricably linked to the happiness of others. Embracing compassion embraces a powerful tool for personal and social transformation, leading to a more empathetic, peaceful, and interconnected world. The benefits of such a practice are profound and far-reaching, impacting every level of human interaction from the personal to the global. With each act of compassion, we move one step closer to a world where suffering is not just an individual concern but a collective responsibility, one that we all work to alleviate. The wisdom of interconnectedness, a Buddhist approach to harmonious living. In Buddhist philosophy, the concept of interconnectedness is fundamental, emphasizing that all forms of life and phenomena are interdependent. This understanding promotes a worldview that encourages harmony, empathy, and responsible actions on both personal and societal levels. By recognizing our interconnected nature, we can foster a more compassionate and sustainable world. Understanding interconnectedness in Buddhism. Definition and importance. Interconnectedness in Buddhism is often expressed through the concept of Indra's net, which illustrates a universe where everything is connected. Each entity is a reflection in each of the other jewels, showing that individual actions have ripple effects throughout the entire network. Practical implications. This principle teaches that our choices and actions have far-reaching consequences. By understanding our role within this vast network, we are more likely to act in ways that are beneficial to all beings, not just ourselves. Practical steps for embracing interconnectedness. Meditation practices. Interdependence meditation. This involves contemplating the connections between oneself and other beings, recognizing how our lives are supported by countless other entities, from the food we eat to the services we depend on. Nature meditations. Spending time in nature and observing ecosystems can enhance our understanding of interconnectedness by meditating on the symbiotic relationships within them. Daily life applications. Mindful consumption. Making conscious choices about what we buy and consume reinforces our awareness of interconnectedness. This includes considering the environmental and social impacts of our purchases. Community engagement. Actively participating in community activities can physically manifest the concept of interconnectedness. This might involve volunteering, community gardening, or supporting local initiatives. The role of interconnectedness in personal growth. Enhancing self-awareness. Regular reflection on how personal actions impact others can cultivate a deeper sense of responsibility and empathy, contributing to more thoughtful and considerate behaviors. Expanding perspective. Recognizing our interconnected nature helps us see beyond our immediate concerns, considering wider implications, and fostering a more holistic worldview. Developing compassion. Understanding that others' suffering and happiness are connected to our own can deepen our empathy and motivate actions that contribute positively to their well-being. Global awareness. Acknowledging our part in global systems encourages us to consider how we can contribute to global solutions, such as efforts to combat climate change or support global human rights. Interconnectedness in relationships and community. Building stronger relationships. Appreciating others' roles and recognizing how they contribute to our well-being can enhance gratitude and respect in relationships, strengthening bonds and cooperation. Conflict resolution. Approaching conflicts with a mindset of interconnectedness focuses on mutual benefits and understanding rather than competition or domination. Strengthening community bonds. Collaborative initiatives that require community cooperation, such as local sustainability efforts or social welfare programs, can be more effectively implemented with a recognition of interconnectedness. Support networks. A strong sense of interconnectedness fosters robust support networks that are crucial in times of individual or collective crisis, providing a resilient foundation for community welfare. Challenges in practicing interconnectedness. Navigating complexity. Recognizing interconnected effects can make decisions more complex, as it involves considering multiple factors and potential consequences. Overwhelm and responsibility. The awareness of vast interconnected systems can sometimes feel overwhelming, especially when considering global issues like poverty or climate change. Overcoming barriers. Education and awareness. Increasing knowledge about how interconnected systems work can help individuals and communities make informed decisions. Mindfulness and reflection. Regular mindfulness practice and reflective exercises can help maintain a balanced perspective, enabling individuals to engage with interconnectedness without becoming overwhelmed. Conclusion. The transformative power of interconnectedness. Embracing the Buddhist concept of interconnectedness can transform the way we live, interact, and view the world. It compels us to act with greater care and responsibility, knowing that our actions reverberate throughout the web of life. This wisdom fosters a deeper appreciation for the complex relationships that sustain us, from the ecological to the social. By living with an awareness of interconnectedness, we contribute to a culture of empathy and cooperation where collective well-being is prioritized. It encourages us to think globally and act locally, recognizing that each small action contributes to a larger change. Ultimately, the practice of interconnectedness in Buddhism offers a profound way to live more mindfully and compassionately. It teaches us that by caring for others, we care for ourselves, and by healing the planet, we heal our own lives. As we become more attuned to the intricate connections that define our existence, we find that our individual peace and happiness are inextricably linked to the peace and happiness of all beings. Living with mindfulness, integrating Buddhist practices for a purposeful life. In the rich tapestry of Buddhist teachings, mindfulness stands out as a transformative practice that encourages a heightened awareness of the present moment. Rooted deeply in Buddhist traditions, mindfulness helps us cultivate a state of awareness where thoughts, feelings, and actions can be observed without judgment. This practice not only enhances personal well-being, but also enriches interactions with others, offering a more compassionate, attentive, and fulfilling way of living. Understanding mindfulness in Buddhism. Definition and scope. Mindfulness, or sati in Pali, involves being fully aware of what is happening within and around us at the present moment. In Buddhism, it is considered one of the paths to achieving enlightenment, helping practitioners understand the true nature of reality. Connection to Buddhist teachings. Mindfulness is a fundamental part of the Noble Eightfold Path, particularly in the practices of right mindfulness and right concentration. It supports other aspects of Buddhist practice, such as ethical living and meditation, enhancing one's capacity to live in harmony with Buddhist precepts. Practical steps for cultivating mindfulness. Meditation practices. Mindfulness meditation. This involves sitting in silence and paying attention to thoughts, sounds, the sensations of breathing, or parts of the body. It trains the mind to stay focused on the present, improving both concentration and calmness. Walking meditation. Practicing mindfulness during walking encourages awareness of the body's movements and the environment, connecting the mind and body in harmonious action. Daily life applications. Mindful eating. This practice involves eating slowly and with full attention to the flavors, textures, and sensations of the food, as well as to the body's hunger and satiety cues. It fosters a deeper appreciation and a healthier relationship with food. Mindful communication. Engaging fully in conversations by listening actively and speaking thoughtfully enhances relationships and promotes more meaningful connections. The role of mindfulness in personal growth. Enhancing self-awareness. Mindfulness allows individuals to observe their emotional responses without judgment, gaining insight into their habitual patterns of thinking and reacting. Developing self-control. By becoming aware of impulses as they arise, individuals can choose how they respond rather than reacting automatically. This self-control is crucial for personal development and ethical conduct. Improving mental health. Regular mindfulness practice has been shown to reduce symptoms of stress and anxiety by helping people manage their reactions to stressful situations more effectively. Enhancing well-being. Mindfulness contributes to overall well-being by fostering a greater appreciation for life's moments, which can lead to increased happiness and contentment. Mindfulness in relationships and community. Fostering empathy and compassion. Mindfulness enhances empathy by helping individuals be more present and attentive in their interactions with others, fostering deeper understanding and connections. Compassionate response. Being mindful of others' emotions and situations enables individuals to respond more compassionately, addressing others' needs more effectively. Improving group dynamics. Mindfulness can improve focus and decrease conflict in community and work settings, enhancing teamwork and productivity. Building resilience. Mindful communities are better able to handle social and environmental stresses, responding with greater adaptability and support for one another. Challenges in practicing mindfulness. Consistency and discipline. Maintaining regular practice is one of the main challenges of mindfulness. It requires discipline and dedication to practice regularly. Overcoming distractions. In a world filled with distractions, maintaining a state of mindfulness can be challenging. It often requires intentional changes in habits and environments. Dealing with emotional discomfort. Mindfulness can sometimes lead to increased awareness of unpleasant thoughts and emotions. Learning to observe these without attachment is crucial, but can be difficult. Balancing awareness and overwhelm. Finding the balance between being fully present and not becoming overwhelmed by what we notice is a subtle but essential skill in mindfulness practice. Conclusion. The transformative power of mindfulness. Embracing mindfulness as outlined in Buddhist teachings offers profound benefits. It transforms the way we experience our lives, enhancing our presence, clarity, and peace. By living mindfully, we engage with the world more consciously, which enriches our personal lives and our interactions with others. Moreover, mindfulness fosters a deeper appreciation for the present moment, reducing our propensity to dwell on the past or worry about the future. It helps us cultivate a state of being that is responsive and open, enhancing our capacity for compassion, empathy, and understanding. Ultimately, integrating mindfulness into daily life is not just about individual well-being, but about contributing to a more thoughtful, compassionate, and attentive world. As more individuals practice mindfulness, the potential for societal transformation increases, leading to communities that prioritize thoughtful engagement, peace, and genuine connection. In embracing mindfulness, we not only enhance our own lives, but also contribute to a larger movement toward a more mindful and compassionate society. This practice invites us to witness the beauty of the present, to connect deeply with others, and to navigate life's challenges with grace and wisdom. Overcoming obstacles with Buddhist principles. A guide to spiritual resilience. In the path of personal growth and spiritual development, obstacles are not merely setbacks, but opportunities for profound learning and transformation. Buddhism offers a rich framework for understanding and overcoming obstacles by highlighting their role in the cultivation of virtues such as patience, perseverance, and wisdom. By applying Buddhist principles, we can transform our approach to challenges, turning obstacles into stepping stones toward greater enlightenment and personal fulfillment. Turning walls into gateways. The Buddhist path through life sips obstacles. No spiritual journey is without its stumbling blocks. No seeker walks an unbroken path. Obstacles, inner and outer, subtle and overwhelming, are not detours on the spiritual road. They are the road itself. In Buddhism, obstacles are not signs of failure. They are not punishments, nor are they cruel tests sent by some distant force. They are reflections of karma, of ignorance, of past actions and present mind states, and most importantly, they are opportunities. Each challenge, no matter how painful, carries the potential for awakening, for insight, and for inner strength. The real question is not, why is this happening? But what is this trying to teach me? The nature of obstacles in the Buddhist lens. From a Buddhist perspective, obstacles are inevitable aspects of human existence. They arise from a variety of sources: the lingering echo of karmic patterns, emotional turbulence, mental confusion, and the deep-rooted ignorance that keeps us from seeing reality clearly. But they are not random, nor are they inescapable. They are mirrors showing us where we are stuck and where we can grow. Obstacles may appear externally as societal pressures, physical limitations, or unjust circumstances. Or they may arise internally as doubt, fear, anger, or distraction. Yet regardless of their source, they all point us inward, calling us to respond not with resistance, but with awareness and compassion. Walking through practical ways to overcome obstacles with Buddhist principles, meditation and mindfulness practices. At the heart of Buddhist practice lies a simple but profound truth. Awareness changes everything. Mindfulness meditation offers us a mirror, a space to witness how we react to difficulty without judgment. This awareness allows us to soften our grip, to respond rather than react. When obstacles feel overwhelming, focused meditation techniques can help stabilize the mind. Visualization practices, imagining the dissolving of burdens or the light of compassion radiating through inner darkness, can be deeply grounding. Mantra recitation, too, becomes a rhythmic tether to calm when storms of thought and emotion rage. Applying the teachings in daily life, the middle way. Rather than swinging between extremes, denial and overindulgence, rigidity and chaos, the middle way offers balance. It invites us to meet challenges not with force, but with centered clarity. In practice, this might mean pausing before reacting, breathing before speaking, or allowing space for ambiguity rather than demanding certainty. Cultivating equanimity. To remain calm amid turmoil is not indifference. It is maturity of spirit. Through daily reflection and meditative balance, equanimity becomes our refuge, a way of holding both joy and sorrow with steady hands. This inner stillness gives us the strength to face life without being broken by it. The hidden gifts of obstacles. When we shift our relationship with obstacles from seeing them as threats to welcoming them as teachers, we begin to uncover their gifts. Strengthening spiritual virtues. Every challenge tests something within us, our patience, our compassion, our humility, and in the testing we are forged. Like steel in fire, we emerge stronger, more grounded, more real. Deepening insight. Obstacles illuminate suffering, its roots and its patterns. They make impermanence undeniable and ignorance visible. In this way, they help us move closer to truth, not as a concept, but as lived experience. Cultivating adaptability and creativity. Sometimes, what once worked no longer does. Obstacles demand creativity, spiritual flexibility, and inner innovation. A blocked path may call you to find a new route, or to redefine the journey entirely. These moments often spark unexpected spiritual breakthroughs. Obstacles in relationships and communities. The most profound tests often arise in our connections with others, and yet, these are also the places where the deepest healing can occur. Improving relationships through compassion. Difficulties with others challenge us to open our hearts wider, to listen more deeply, to forgive more freely. They reveal where we cling, where we judge, and where we still carry unresolved pain. And they offer us countless opportunities to choose love over ego. The practice of forgiveness. Forgiveness is never easy, but it is essential. Every misunderstanding, every betrayal, becomes an invitation to practice letting go. Not to excuse harmful behavior, but to free ourselves from the chains of resentment. Strengthening communities through shared struggle. When groups or communities face obstacles together, be it through natural disasters, conflict, or collective loss, a hidden beauty can emerge. Unity, shared suffering builds shared strength. And through mutual support, the community itself becomes a vessel for growth. Collective growth. As individuals within a community evolve, the community evolves with them. Overcoming challenges together fosters empathy, cooperation, and wisdom. it deepens the collective heart. The challenges of practicing Buddhist principles amid obstacles. While the teachings are timeless, applying them is not always easy. Spiritual practice is not a magical fix. It is a long and often humbling journey. Consistency is key. The fruits of mindfulness and meditation only ripen with steady effort. But staying consistent, especially in hard times, can feel daunting. Still, every moment you return to the breath, to the present, to awareness, you water the seeds of transformation. Long-term commitment. Some obstacles don't dissolve overnight. They require enduring effort, persistence, and faith. Without sustained motivation, it can be easy to drift. This is where community, routine, and intention become invaluable allies. Dealing with deep-rooted afflictions. Not all wounds are visible. Some come from trauma, long-standing conditioning, or ancestral pain. These may call for deeper inner work, compassionate self-inquiry, and sometimes professional guidance. Buddhism does not ask us to bypass pain, but to meet it with courage and wisdom. Cultural and societal pressures. In environments that don't support spiritual growth, holding to Buddhist principles can feel isolating. Yet even in such spaces, your practice becomes a quiet act of revolution, a living embodiment of peace in a world that desperately needs it. Conclusion. Turning obstacles into pathways of awakening. Buddhism teaches us not to flee from obstacles, but to lean into them, to see them not as enemies, but as invitations. The real work of the path is not to create a life free of difficulty, but to transform our relationship to difficulty until what once crushed us now awakens us. Each challenge becomes a lesson, each setback a step forward, each obstacle a sacred threshold. With mindfulness, equanimity, and the wisdom of the middle way, we cultivate a spirit resilient enough to face anything and soft enough to stay human through it all. We begin to move, not in fear, but in freedom. And as we transform our own obstacles, we inspire others. Our growth becomes their hope. Our peace becomes their path. So let us walk with courage. Let us see clearly, love deeply, and rise gracefully. Obstacles may shape the terrain, but they need not define the traveler. In the end, it is not the smoothness of the road that matters, but the strength, clarity, and compassion with which we walk it. Final thoughts. Embracing the timeless wisdom of Buddhism. As this journey through the heart of Buddhist teachings draws to a close, one truth becomes unmistakably clear. This path is not about doctrine or dogma, it is about presence, compassion, and awakening. The teachings of mindfulness, impermanence, karma, and interconnectedness aren't relics of ancient times. They are living, breathing truths, whispers of timeless wisdom that still echo in the chaos of our modern world. Buddhism does not ask us to escape life, but to enter it more fully. It offers not a distant ideal, but a deeply grounded way of being, one that invites peace amid uncertainty, stillness amid movement, and clarity amid complexity. As we walk this path, the teachings ask of us only this: to keep returning to the moment, to live with open hands and an open heart, to let each breath remind us that we are alive, that we are capable of wisdom, and that even the smallest acts of kindness ripple far beyond what we can see. So as you reflect on these teachings, consider carrying them into your daily life in these simple yet profound ways. 1. Live, mindfully. Let each moment be a portal to awareness. Whether sipping tea, having a conversation, or walking under the sky, be here. Life's beauty is fleeting, but in presence, even the ordinary becomes sacred. Zweite, act compassionately. Let your heart remain open. When you offer kindness, you not only soften someone else's suffering, you awaken your own joy. Compassion is not a duty. It is a gift that keeps giving. Touch dolls, embrace change. Let go of the illusion of permanence. Everything in life is shifting, and in that movement lies possibility, growth, and freedom. When we stop resisting change, we begin to dance with it. 4. Connect deeply. Let your life be a thread in the great tapestry of existence. Your actions matter. Your presence matters. The well-being of one is tied to the well-being of all. Live in a way that uplifts not just yourself, but the world around you. If any part of this journey has stirred something in you, offered peace, understanding, or simply a moment of stillness, consider passing it on. Share this light with someone else. Press the like button, leave a comment, or send it to a friend who may be searching for the very clarity you've just found. Because the truth is, wisdom, like a flame, doesn't diminish when shared. It multiplies. Just as one candle can ignite 1,000 others without losing its glow, every time you share a teaching, every time you live with intention, you become a source of light in someone else's darkness. So let us continue, not with haste, but with care. Let us keep practicing, not for perfection, but for peace. Let us keep growing, not alone, but together. And may the light you carry, however quiet, continue to guide your way and touch the lives of those you meet. Thank you for walking this path. May these teachings find a home in your heart. May your life be filled with presence, with purpose, and with the radiant calm of wisdom well lived. Keep walking, keep awakening, and keep sharing the glow.